Yo, what's going on, boys? It is your boy Token coming back to you guys with another video. It's the second one in one day. So I've been doing a lot of research on badges. I told you I'll bring you this video, so I thought, why do it later when I could do it now? I've looked through Twitter, I've looked through Google, I've looked through every possible avenue to figure out which badges are best for you, for your build. We're going to get right into it. We're going to go category by category and discuss A, the things that are most misunderstood about badges and certain badges, and B, the ones that you need to have on your player at any level. Okay, so I'm not going to go over every badge, I'm just going to go over the important badges. So let's get right into it without any further ado. What we're going to discuss today is the finishing badges. For those that don't know, it's kind of self-explanatory, but finishing badges for those that are trying to drive and finish in the paint or do different things inside the paint. So we're going to get straight into it. If you're a sharp like myself, the badges you're going to want are, my sharp is 6'6", 6'7", most sharps are that tall, so you want to go and put on Giant Slayer. You're probably, if you're a sharp, only going to have one finishing badge, so Giant Slayer will help a lot. Another badge you're definitely going to want to have is Relentless Finisher. It's the same thing that's been in the game for multiple years in the past, but this time you're going to need it just in case you need a little bit more help now that the defense on the inside has been buffed for bigger centers. Another badge you're going to want for your player is Contact Finisher. It's last year's posterizer pretty much, only it's not just off of dunks, it's off of layups too. So not only do you have Contact Finisher, but you also have Relentless Finisher, both in the ability to convert contact layups and contact dunks in the paint, which goes hand in hand with Acrobat. If you're going to be driving in the paint on bigger guys, you're going to want Acrobat alongside of those other badges. But if you're like me, who are only going to be going to the paint on rare occasion, you're going to want Giant Slayers in case you run into a center. The last badge I want to bring to your attention is Lob City Finisher. It improves the chances of completing a successful alley-oop or layup or dunk. So if you're going to be ones cutting out of the corner or going from the hash, you'll want to be able to have this badge at least on bronze, just so you have some type of ability when it comes to catching and throwing down lobs. Moving on then, ladies and gentlemen, to defense and rebounding badges. Now, so these took a lot of time and research to figure out which badges were best, because a lot of these are newer. So we're going to start first with the lockdown badges, and we're going to move down to the center badges, which ones you both are going to want. So I am a sharp though, so we're going to start there with me. I have 6 upgrades. I want Interceptor on gold because I have minimum wingspan or close to it, so my arms are smaller, so I want this badge to help me getting tap steals or tipped passes while I'm in the passing lane. And the last thing I want to add is Intimidator. So I can get 2 badges on gold. Intimidator is for basically last year's defensive stopper, only it's different, doesn't affect the badges, but it still does work on every player. Doesn't matter how tall or how small, it affects every single player. There's no height discrepancy this year as it was last year, where it was 3 inches in difference is when it worked. This works on every player no matter how tall or small. I saw it on a blog, so you know what I'm saying, the internet told me it, internet can't be wrong. But anyways, for the other lockdowns, if you're off ball, you want these 2 badges. You want them because you're either going to be in the corner if you're not a off-ball defender like top of the 2-3, or if you're on ball, you're going to want these 2 badges. Interceptor, not necessarily necessary for on-ball locks. You're definitely going to want Clamps. Clamps is one of the best badges for on-ball locks because it allows the defender to stay in front of the ball handler along the outside of that 3-point line. So another thing that I feel like is going to be super important, I didn't find this anywhere on the internet, it just makes lots of sense to me, because if you play the demo, you realize energy and stamina is extremely low. So when I'm running around on defense, I lose energy very quickly. Imagine being a lock, bumping into people as you're going by, and you're just bumping the point guard. You're going to be losing energy as well. So you're going to want Tireless Defender. I don't think stamina is an attribute anymore this year. You're definitely going to want to have badges that help you out, keep your energy up. Probably another thing you're going to want on Hall of Fame or gold if you're on ball lock is Pickpocket, because there are tons of playmaking badges that go into playmakers that help them not get the ball taken. So you want these badges to negate those badges so you can hit the ball free with ease. So if you're an on-ball lock, instead of having Interceptor, because you're going to be on ball, you're going to want to have Lightning Reflexes. This helps you as an on-ball defender be able to read and react, be able to see the arrow before everyone else on the floor does. It helps you if you have it on gold or Hall of Fame. It's going to help you have the best vision when it comes to knowing where the player is going to be going. Whereas if you have it down on silver or bronze, it still gives you an idea, but only after certain animations. Probably the last badge I want to, or second to last badge, sorry, there's two more that I want to show you guys. Is super important whether you have it on anything. You want it on anything because the screens this year are absolutely ridiculous. They're absolutely ridiculous. So what I recommend having is Pick Dodger. Pick Dodger is a very important badge. You've seen videos cycling around YouTube and Facebook and Twitter of centers absolutely folding Steph Curry in half. So if you get caught up there and you're a guard or you are a lock, you're still going to want Pick Dodger badge on at least silver probably, so that way you don't get murdered by screens. And the very last badge I wanted to show you guys for on-ball defenders is going to be Heart Crusher. Heart Crusher decreases opponent's takeover when achieving a highlight play on defense. So poked ball is a highlight play. Forced turnover is a highlight play. Steal is a highlight play. So all these things lead to takeovers being drained when you have Heart Crusher on. So there are a lot of highlight plays you can have on defense, such as a chase down block or a regular block, but those, if you don't have this badge, it's not going to take away the takeover hardly at all. Whereas last year, you poked the ball free, they lost their entire takeover. So this year, you need the badge. Moving on to centers. And this first badge I'm going to say is for corner players as well, who play out of the corner on defense. You're going to want to have box, because without being able to hold a box out, people have worms. They can get around box outs. They have a lot of different badges, so you definitely want to have box as one of your badges, having it at least on bronze or silver if you're playing out of the corner, and probably on silver or gold or Hall of Fame if you're on a big man. You're gonna want to have brick wall if you're a big man for obvious reasons. I've seen people put Curry on his butt with silver brick wall. You're gonna want to have brick wall on it, probably gold or Hall of Fame if you're a center. Because, like I said, on-ball locks will have Pick Dodger, so you really want to have that brick wall as high as possible. You're going to want to have Interceptor as a center. That way, when you're playing the pick and roll defense, you can get tip steals, you're going to get tip passes, and be able to get the ball easier than if you didn't have any of that, and the ball is going through your hands, like it did last year a lot when you're playing pick and roll defense. You're going to want to have Worm. Worm is a badge. You might want to have it on bronze or silver, depending on the kind of player you want to be. You're going to be able to get around box outs a lot easier with Worm. I've actually used it when I made a center just to try it out, just to see what it was like, and it was absolutely overpowered. I recommend having it. Another badge I'd recommend having is Rebound Chaser, because there's times when people take three-point jump shots that just bang off the rim and fly over your head, and Rebound Chaser allows you to press Y once and go and grab the ball with either one hand or actually chase the ball, get a full animation, which is probably what you're going to want. The last badge for the defending / center category is going to be Pogo Stick. So if you're disciplined, you don't necessarily need this. But players that are undisciplined, that don't know how to play defense without jumping and being, well, disciplined, they're going to need Pogo Stick because it improves the ability to attempt multiple blocks in succession. So you go up and try to block someone and then they just pump fake. And having this badge allows you to recover much quicker and still have a high success rate for getting those blocks. Moving on then to playmaking badges. So my build is going to be, again, a sharpshooting facilitator. So I want to have the best badges for me. So this is where I'm going to have a lot of fun describing these badges, because I put my most time and effort into finding these, because I wanted to make sure my build is absolutely perfect. But again, the defensive badges took the most time. This took probably the same amount of time, but also I wanted to, because these are my type of badges. I'm going to need these. So my the playmakers that I've been hooping with in the lab, they're going to want these badges. They got to be perfect. So let's get into it. First badge I want to bring to your attention is Unpluckable. It reduces the chance of getting stripped by the defender. So if you have this badge and your bar starts flashing yellow, if you remember from my last video I discussed, flashing yellow means the ball is very vulnerable to getting stolen. Unpluckable will prevent that, so I'm going to have that badge on absolute max so that I can have it, and I'll be on gold. Quick First Step badge is another badge you're going to want to have if you're playing out of the corner, or if you're playing at the top of the key perimeter type of player, like a on-ball or a primary ball handler or a secondary ball handler. You're going to want Quick First Step on at least silver, just because it allows you to explode out of triple threat and size ups, in which if you're point guard, you're going to be using triple threats and size ups the entire time you're on the court. So I recommend Quick's first step on at least silver. Now the next badge is Space Creator, the most important badge in my opinion for sharps. Space Creator allows you to create space from the defender, so it goes hand in hand with your center. Your center has brick wall, you have Space Creator. You're going to create a lot of space off the pick and roll. I looked it up. Mike Wang says this badge is going to be fantastic for those who are trying to get space from the perimeter and try to get space to drive to the basket. The next badge is Tight Handles. For me as a sharp, I want this badge as maxed out as possible. This badge right here will allow me as a sharp to break ankles. Here's how. Mike Wang put on Twitter, he said, I'll put the tweet right here. Mike Wang said that ankle breaker is for dropping defenders when making driving movements towards the basket, and they'll break the defender's ankles down. However, Tight Handles improves the ability to break down the defender along the perimeter. So if you're a sharp, you want this badge as max as possible, which will allow you to get break ankles animations and allow you to pull the shot uncontested. Also, playmakers are going to want this badge because they're going to be able to get open shot threes as well. However, if they're going to be driving to the basket, they're going to want ankle breaker as their primary ankle breaking badge. The next badge you're going to want on the court at all times for you is going to be bailout. Not because you're baited all the time, but I have mine on bronze because there are times when you think a shot's going to be open and then recover very quickly, so you want to be able to pass the ball out of your shot accurately instead of throwing the ball into the stands. The next badge you're going to want, because of how low your stamina is in 2K20, you're going to want Handles for days. It reduces the amount of energy lost when performing dribble moves. Yes, Mike Wang did say on Twitter he's going to be buffing players' stamina, but I still believe this badge is going to be a major pivotal part to playmakers and secondary ball handlers like myself and like other point guards around the league. There are other badges that you're going to be wanting as centers and people that rebound the ball, so out of the corner, and also playmakers. You're going to want breaks hard probably on bronze or silver just so you can have that extra boost when throwing the ball down the court, which RBLB is still in the game. In case you were wondering, that is still going to be in the game. And of course, there are other cosmetic badges like Flashy Passer, which is going to be, if you want it, like, I mean, do you need it? No. I mean, but you can if you want. Another thing is Downhill, increases the speed with ball and transition, good for slashers and lockdowns. And then Needle Threader, Stop and Go, 2 good badges for those that want cosmetics to their game. Now finally, my favorite part of the video, because I am a sharp. There are going to be a lot of players in centers, everybody in the game. Centers, locks, slashers, point guards, sharps are all going to need this part of the video. So if you guys don't care whatsoever about badges, click forward to this part of the video. First thing I want to discuss, centers can get catch and shoot on whatever they want. So if you have a 65 open shot 3, you're going to be hitting shots because of purple catch and shoot. So you're going to want catch and shoot whether you are a sharp or whether you're a center, whether you're a lock, does not matter. Catch and shoot on at least bronze. At least bronze. I'm a shooter. I'm putting that hoe on purple. Clutch shooter. If you're a good sharp or a good shooter, you're not going to need this badge. Because, yeah, it's a clutch moment. But if you just green the shot, it's going to fall. This badge would be good if people are really riding you tight. But, you know, badge is not necessary. It's rather cosmetic. Same as corner specialist for us sharps. But for you slashers and lockdowns, this badge would be fantastic to have on at least bronze or silver. I'm not putting it on because I'm not going to be in the corner at all. Fifi probably won't be a thing next year. Let's be honest. It's been in the league. It's been in the game this entire year of 2K19. So if you allow Fifi to happen in 20, you're not in the comp scene. The next badge is Deadeye. I'm putting that hoe on purple because it reduces the impact of a defender who is closing out. So the way this badge works is, again, looked it up, did a lot of research on this badge. So someone's putting their hand up on you, whereas you have this badge on nothing. You have this badge on plastic bag. You're going to have 57% coverage, let's say. Have this badge on purple, you're going to be having 12% coverage because it helps it not to matter as much what they're being covered by. So it's not going to let you hit more of these more contested shots. It's going to reduce the coverage of shots. So if you're someone that is going to be shooting a lot, like a sharps, you're going to want this badge, same as those like playmakers and such. Information: deep fades is not for fading away, fading from corner to corner or top of the key. It's for post fades. You do not need this badge unless you're a post scorer. You do not need this badge. The next badge I'm putting on absolute purple, absolute max difficult shots. Shot creators are extremely overpowered in this game because fading gives you damn near no contest whatsoever. So put difficult shots on, and we're in a world of beauty. You're going to be hitting those shots. You're going to be greening those shots. No contests whatsoever along with Deadeye. It's going to be fantastic. You want difficult shots on at least gold if you're a shooter. So flexible release should be a badge that sharps need if they're on a different server like me. So I'm going to probably have this badge on bronze or silver. But if you're a center or a lockdown or a slasher, maybe bronze, silver would be good. If you're a good shooter, you're not going to need this badge. Green Machine is good for those that are good shooters. Green Machine allows you to continue to have more boosts and more boosts and more boosts the more greens you make in a row. So if you're a good shooter, you can time your shot well. You want this badge in at least silver or gold. I'm putting it on silver, but that's just me. If you're good at shooting and you can green a lot, you're going to want this badge, because the more you green, the more successful you're going to be down the stretch. This badge right here, Hot Start, is absolutely abysmal. Do not put this badge on your player. Do not put this badge on your player. Hot Start improves his shooting ability after making the first shot until you miss. So if you don't make your first shot, Mike Wing said this. I don't understand why this badge is in the game. If you do not make your first shot, this badge is completely gone, wasted. You have no point to have this badge. So you say you shoot your first shot, it's a full bar, 0% coverage, and you miss it, Hot Start doesn't matter. You have to make your first shot. I think it's pointless. I'm not putting it on my build, neither should you. Hot Zone Hunter. So last year what it did for Hot Zones, what it boosted your ability without a badge. Now it's added a badge. I'm not sure why, but if you're in a Hot Zone, you're going to hit more shots if you have this badge equipped. If you don't, it's just going to be a regular shot. Another badge that you do not need, Ice and Veins. I like the way it looks, I'm not going to lie. But you're not going to need the badge because if you're on the free throw line, you know your free throw release. Like if you're Michael Jordan from like this year, if you had 0 free throw ace, you're still going to hit it. It's going to be green every single time because the badge doesn't matter. You don't need free throw ace. You just need a jump shot you can time. Again, you're not going to need Ice and Veins. You're going to be able to green your free throws if you find the right animation. Pick and Popper. For those centers, you're going to want this badge as high as you can make it. Pick and Popper and Catch and Shoot are the most important badges for you centers. Also, you stretches if you ever pick and pop. Probably not, but the centers is the most important badge for you guys other than Catch and Shoot. Pump Fake Maestro. So last year, if you pump faked once or twice before you shot, your shot percentage dramatically dropped. This year, they introduced a badge to where it still drops, but it will not drop if you have this badge. I didn't pump fake hardly ever when I caught the ball. So if I was shooting it, I was shooting. If I wasn't, I wasn't. I wasn't really second guessing. If I did, that's why I just passed out of my shot. But you know, that doesn't happen because no one in the 2K community has ever baited. I don't recommend Pump Fake Maestro, but you can if you want. The next badge you're going to want maxed out as a shooter and maxed out as a playmaker or a point guard. Quick Draw. And make sure release super quick. So last year we had Jump Shot Creator where you maxed your speed all the way out based upon your liking. This year it's Quick Draw. For those of you that want to be a better shooter with a quicker release, you want Quick Draw on Hall of Fame. For me, who's going to be a sharp sitting hash or creating my own shot off the pick and roll, I'm going to want Quick Draw to get the shot off as quickly as possible without any problems. Centers and lockdowns, you may not need this badge on purple, but you're going to need it probably on silver or gold if you want to get a shot off before getting a contest. Probably the last badge that I'm going to have maxed out on my player come 2K20 is Range Extender. I need Range Extender because I want to shoot from the logo. You don't need this badge if you're going to be picking and popping or if you're going to be shooting from the corner. This badge is completely useless to you, but if for some reason you want it, be our guest. Point guards, playmakers, and shooting guards or stretches are going to need this badge as high as they possibly want. Green, gold at the very least. You want those gold if you're sharp. Maybe bronze if you're center, just for giggles. But if you're a point guard, sharp, or stretch, you're going to want this badge maxed. Another badge that I did not think would be this big of a deal this year. I knew that it was a dope badge for getting open off the ball, but I didn't think it would be this big of a deal until I saw an article on this badge from a 2K insider who said that this badge is the second best badge in the game. Second best shooting badge in the game. Sorry. So I recommend using slippery off ball. I don't feel like I'm going to need it that high, but I feel like it's going to be necessary to success. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on silver just so that I'll have the ability to drop someone off ball if need be. The last thing, one of the last badges I wanted to bring to your attention is Steady Shooter. Do not get this badge. Do not get this badge. Do not get Steady Shooter. Do not get it. Don't. It reduces the penalty for contested shots. So yes, it helps you on contested shots. but it also reduces the bonuses for open shots. So this year you get a small percent boost to your shot if it's wide open, and you lose. The more contested, the more penalized you get for that percentage. Steady shooter reduces the penalty for contested shots, so that's dope. But it also drops your open shot percentage. So you're going to get penalized for taking open shots if you have this badge. Do not equip this badge unless you're attempting to shoot overheads, which I guess for stretches, sure, equip the badge if you want. I'm not making the badge because I don't want my open shots to be penalized because I have this badge open. I'm not putting the badge on. I don't recommend you do either, but it's a preference thing. This badge I'm gonna have on silver because I shoot the ball, and sometimes when I'm secondary ball handler and stamina is pretty poor right now. Again, they're gonna buff stamina. However, for now, for me, until I see how it looks, I'm gonna have Tyler Shooter on. That way, I don't miss shots because I'm tired. That way, I have a little bit more stamina than the guy before me because I don't want to miss. All right, well, I don't want to miss. I'm going to put Tyler Shooter on just to give me a little bit more confidence. The last badge we're going to talk about today is Volume Shooter. You do not need this badge unless you are a point guard. So the point guards, like they were this year, shot the most. Am I right? They shot the most times. So this badge, if you're a point guard, would be dope because the more you shoot, the more boost you're going to get to your shot percentages. So, but if you're a sharp, I mean, you might, if you're a cone, stay on the hash, take the open shot, move on. You don't need this badge. But if you're someone like a playmaker or a secondary ball handler who makes his own shot, maybe you're going to want this badge on silver or gold. But I don't think it's necessary. But that's just me, and that's just what I'm saying. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, these are the badges I'm going to have on my player for my sharp. I'm going to have 30 sharp badges, and these are my badges. So if you want them, there they are, based on the research that I did. I spent a lot of time researching these badges, so I hope you guys did enjoy this video. But before I end the video, I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to have based on the research that I did. So here are my sharp badges. Feel free to take a look if you'd like. This is my finishing badge. It's just Giant Slayer because I'm going to be a smaller guard, probably around 6'6", 6'7". I'm going to have Giant Slayer so I can have a little more success going in against the trees. These are my playmaking badges for the reasons I gave earlier and the research I did today. I want these badges to be my primary badge for playmaking. If you're a sharp or secondary ball handler, you want these as well. Please be sure to take a picture or use these badges until you get 20 drops. Again, maybe different for you playmakers, point guard primaries. You're going to want to make your own badge based on what I said. However, these are my badges. So again, look at them, see what you think. We'll go on to the next defensive and badges next. And finally, my badges for defending. I'm playing off ball, probably corner. So these are my badges I'm going to have. Interceptor on gold, Intimidator on gold as well. But for you guys, defenders, make what you want, because I kind of gave you a rundown on every possible badge and what it does and what the research I've done and things I've experienced with them. So please make the decision that's best for you. But these are going to be my badges playing off ball in the corner. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the video. I went in depth to every single badge that I think was necessary. I went into even more depth with shooting badges because I'm a shooter, so I went into more depth with those. But every badge I went over was important or misunderstood. So if you guys had any other questions about badges, please let me know. I looked into badges for hours today, so I know what I'm talking about. I hope you guys understand everything that I've discussed. If you don't, DM me on Twitter. Link will be in the description below. Also, if you don't have my Twitter or don't have a Twitter, you can comment in the comment section below on YouTube, right below this video, and we're going to be able to see you guys next time. Again, if you're new here, subscribe. If you like the video, please like it. Share your friends. Let me know what you all thought. I need feedback. I know I'm getting into the swing of things here. I'm finally off night shift, so I'm not sleeping throughout the entire day. So again, if you all did enjoy the video, let me know. Thank you all so much for dropping by. Love you guys. Peace out.